All right, babies, it's that time again. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. So, once again, I'm not in any particular part of the Bible. It's not because I'm avoiding it, I just didn't think of it. I had another prayer time last night, and so I'm just going to wait on the Lord now and see what He might want me to say to you. So let's hang in there together, shall we? One of the things is like kind of a housekeeping thing. I was going to say to you is that I didn't realize that these videos, when I have selected they're for kids. It was shutting off the ability for you to write down comments. So I'll have to figure out what that's all about, and so I'll try to fix that so you can leave comments. I'll try to do that today. It also happens to be payday, so I'm on my way to get a deli sandwich, which I turn into 2 meals. And so I try to get 30 grams of protein into my body every 3 hours. Oh yeah, to support my bodybuilding. Oh yeah, baby. And I'm also administering a state test today to some Connecticut 8th graders, one of whom enjoys the tests and the other one is completely uninterested and isn't even trying, who actually could. So maybe, yeah, let's talk about that. That's something to talk about. When you have the ability, but you don't apply it. Oh, yeah, baby. Does that ring a bell for anyone? Yeah. Yeah, that's how life can be sometimes. We get into that pattern. And why is that? I'll tell you why. That's because we get too tied into our temporal existence and we neglect our eternal position, let's say. So there's our juxtapositioning, eternal positioning and temporal existence. So the distraction and the temptation there is to surround yourself with activity that you find pleasing. And when you do that, you're not likely to choose something that requires work. Because you're in your, it's all about me mode. And when you're playing the all about me mode, there's little thought that's given to your authoritative position for eternity that you have now because of your faith in Jesus. So how do we rectify that? Yeah. Well, the first thing that comes to mind is not a very pleasant one, so I will change my mind on that one. Has something to do with your head being where it doesn't belong. Yeah, that would be the first thing. And you might say, well, don't I need God's help to remove my head from where it doesn't belong? Yes. So, good question. So, yeah, that's the whole point of why we need to cultivate this sensitivity to the Spirit. So all day long, you're thinking about how can I better position myself to stay in a receptive mode to Jesus, and at the same time be responsive to the people around me and those God lays on my heart, so that I sustain this position of being a living sacrifice, emptied out, poured out in thanksgiving to Him for who He is. And in that obedience, He fills you with guidance on how to serve others. Oh yeah, baby. So when you do that, then you're not neglecting what you're capable of doing. You are embracing and cherishing that opportunity to be useful for someone else. That's where you get the joy. That's where you get the playfulness. I just had this yesterday. I was talking with a fellow teacher, and we were talking about this difficult student, and it just came over me, oh, I know, it was a student we just received. And, I work with emotionally challenged, suicidal kids mostly. And usually when they come into our program, some of them live there on our campus. And then in like a year or two, they go back to living with their parents and living in their normal school, or attending their normal school. But usually what happens when they come to us, they have this idea like, oh, I don't belong here, and they're very upset because they're experiencing the separation of their parents and blah blah blah. So it takes them a while to acclimate. So I was just, as we're thinking about that and how sad it is that adults don't pay attention to kids because the parents themselves are doing what I was just talking about. They're creating scenarios in their life that are feeding their temporal desires, and they're neglecting their kids, and their kids end up acting out, looking for attention. And so the thought just came to me, that's okay, we'll take care of her. Like, this is like most kids, but in time she'll be okay, because we're gonna fix her. Yeah. And so I just kind of got this joy and peace and confidence that this very challenged kid is going to be okay, because we're going to give her the attention and the support that she needs. Yeah, baby. It's just like that in taking care of yourself so that you can be of use to God. Yeah, baby. Pay attention.